So students, today we will study about flux. What is flux? If I'll ask you what is flux, what will you tell me? That first of all, I'll tell you what is flux. Magnetic flux. Actually, there is a similar term named as electric flux, which we have already studied in our previous classes, right? Right, students, tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we have already studied about electric flux. What was it? Tell me. Does anyone know here in the class?
So it's the number of electric field lines passing
Actually,
through a
it was
surface.
not exactly number because you see, whenever we talk about numbers, it is not exact. Okay, it is just a count of number. Like flux is directly proportional to number of electric field lines. It is proportional. It is not exactly equal. Okay, electric field lines. Sorry.
So flux is electric field through a particular surface.
Yeah, that you can see the energy crossing an area. Okay, you can say about electric flux that it is the energy crossing an area. Like amount of energy crossing an area is known as flux. So, if we will talk about electric flux, what we studied about electric flux in our previous classes that electric flux is equal to E dot dA, right? D phi, the amount of small flux passing through an area, it is D phi, right? D phi is a small amount of flux. It used to be equal to E dot dA. Okay. From here we have known that area is also a vector, right? Area is also a vector quantity. So if you see that like this is I am making a area here. Okay. I am making a surface here, and I am saying that let us say that the surface is like this. Okay, it is on the this surface is there, okay, kept somewhere or maybe hanged, whatever. And here we are saying that a uniform magnetic field is passing here, crossing this area. Okay, let us say that in this region there is a uniform magnetic field like this. Okay, there is a uniform magnetic field like this. Let us say that this magnetic field is of magnitude E. Okay. Actually, first of all, I am telling you, I am explaining you a bit of electric flux. Then we'll move to magnetic flux. Okay. So you see, students, if we are talking about electric flux here, what is electric flux? That is what I am telling you. That let us say that this area is A. Okay, this is some area A, and this area I have made here. Okay, and I am saying that this electric field E. Okay, this is the electric field. These lines are representing electric field. This electric field is like crossing some area. Okay, through this disk, let us say. So let us say that the area of this is A. So what will be the flux passing through this area, students? What will be the flux? Tell me, electric flux, phi E. Let us say it phi E. Phi E will be how much, students? It will be E dot dA. E dot A actually, not dA, because E dot dA is the small flux. Actually, it will be E dot A, right? Or it will be equal to EA cos theta. Electric field into area into cos of angle between electric field vector and area vector, right? And you have already studied about area vector in your previous classes when you were studying electric flux. That what is area vector? Area vector has a direction. It is always perpendicular to the surface, right? Like if you are saying that this is the surface, which direction will be perpendicular? Either this direction, just see here, either this direction will be perpendicular to the surface, right, or this direction. So which direction to take? Which direction should we take the electric flux, the area vector, in which direction? So it is said to us that we can take any of the directions, either this or this. Okay, any of the directions. So and stick to this direction for the whole problem. Okay, you have to stick to this direction, the direction which you have assumed for the whole problem, students. Okay, for the whole problem. So if we are calculating electric flux through this area, what will we say? That electric flux will be E into A into cos theta, where theta is the angle between electric field vector and area vector. So it is better for us to make the angle between electric field and area. Like actually electric field is in this direction, students. Okay, and area vector could be in this direction, this could be direction of area vector, or this could be a direction of area vector. So which will be simpler for us to use? If the angle between electric field and area vector is 0 degree, what will that mean, students? That the value of theta will be 0, and which means cos theta cos 0 will equal to 1. Okay, so what we say that take the direction which is more convenient to use. Okay, so what we say that here in this problem, what will you say that flux, electric flux will be E into A simply. Okay, because we have taken theta as 0 degree, so we'll say that flux will be E into A. Okay, so this is a simple like revision for electric flux. Now we'll talk about magnetic flux, students. Okay, actually we have already studied about electric flux in our previous classes, right? And we have also studied about what, students? Do you remember we have studied about magnetic field lines in our previous classes? Okay, we have I have already told you that what are the magnetic field lines, what are its properties. Like let us see here. If see this is a magnet here. Okay, a magnet which is having north and south pole both. Okay, this is a magnet, and this is the north pole of the magnet, and this is the south pole of the magnet. Okay, so we have already studied about the magnetic field lines of this bar magnet. We know that this is called bar magnet. So what we say about this, that magnetic field lines originate from north and they terminate in south, right? They originate from north and terminate in south, which is outside the magnet, right? This is outside the magnet. The magnetic field lines originate from north and terminate in south outside the magnet. And what happens inside the magnet, students? Do you remember what happens inside the magnet? It goes from south to north, right? It goes from south to north inside the magnet. This we have already studied, right? So you see what is magnetic flux actually. We say about magnetic flux that it is phi magnetic. Now I'm using phi m. Okay, magnetic flux is equal to B. B is the representation for magnetic field, right? B dot dA actually. It is B dot dA, which is d phi. D phi means small magnetic flux. Okay, d phi means small magnetic flux. And if we have to talk about complete magnetic flux, what will be total flux? What will be the value of total flux, student? Total magnetic flux will be integration of d phi, right? Okay. So what we say, integration over a closed surface, over a whole surface actually. Okay, the integration will be the integration of d phi m will be phi m. Phi m means magnetic field, right? Phi m means magnetic field. Sorry, phi m means magnetic flux, total magnetic flux, and d phi m means small magnetic flux. So by integrating over a small area, integrating small magnetic fluxes, will get complete magnetic flux. Okay, so what will we get if like if you are saying that magnetic field is constant or uniform, then you will say that the total magnetic flux will be simply integration. Actually it will be integration of B dot dA, right? Will be the integration of B dot dA. So if magnetic field is constant and magnetic field between angle between magnetic field and area vector will be less, like it will if let us say that if it will be constant. Okay, if the angle between magnetic field and area vector is constant, and let us say that it is theta, what will we say? It will be equal to integration of B. Actually remove this vector, it will be B, simply B dA cos theta, right? And if I'll say that magnetic field is constant, if I say that magnetic field is constant, what will you say? That this B, and if theta is also constant, then B cos theta will be outside the integration sign, right? So phi m will be equal to B cos theta into integration of dA. And what will be the integration of dA, students? Complete area, right? Total area. So we'll say that total magnetic flux will be equal to B cos theta into A. Okay, A will be the complete area. It is the integration of dA. Okay, integration of dA means sum of all the area. So we'll say that magnetic flux will be B A cos theta. Okay, BA cos theta. So I'll write it here on the next page. Like, see, if we are saying that we are talking about magnetic flux. So magnetic flux will be equal to B dot A. Okay, magnetic field actually it was equal to in our it was equal to what, students? B A cos theta, right? Which we have already derived in our previous page. Sorry, in our previous page. So we say magnetic flux is B A cos theta, right? So that is what I wrote here. Magnetic flux is equal to B into A into cos theta, right? So what can we say now? That magnetic flux here will be equal to what? Tell me. What will magnetic flux be? Phi m will be equal to B dot A. Okay. If magnetic field is uniform, okay, this is the formula when only when magnetic field is uniform and the angle between magnetic field and area vector is same, is equal every time. Okay, for all areas. Like let us say, I am giving an example here. See students, I am saying that this is some random area. Okay, this is some random area. So now if I'll take a very elemental, a very small area in this small object, if I'll take a very small area like this. Okay, let us say that this area, the length of like the value of this area is dA. Let us say, okay, the value of this area is dA, and area vector is along this direction. See here, students, the area vector is along this direction. Okay, this direction. Okay, this will be the direction of area vector. Okay, and if I am saying that this is the direction of magnetic field here for this area, for this point, this is the direction of magnetic field and this is the direction of area vector. Okay, so the small flux passing through this area will be equal to how much? What will be the value of small flux passing through this area, students? D phi. D phi will be equal to how much? It will be B dot dA. And since I am saying that if this angle is theta, okay, this angle is theta, what will I write here now? That d phi is equal to B dA cos theta, right? It is equal to B dA cos theta. Now for calculating the whole flux, what we have to do? We have to integrate these small this small flux. Like for this area we have calculated flux. Now for this area also we should be calculating flux. Okay, and we have to add this and this. All these values we have to add to get what? To get complete flux passing through this area. Okay. So integration of d phi will be integration of B dA cos theta, right, over the whole surface. Okay, over the whole surface we have to integrate for the calculation of flux. Okay, so like you see students, if I'll ask you a question. See, this is all about flux. Okay, this is the basics. And one more thing, what we say that actually it is an count of what we say about flux, that the same definition which we use in electric field, that magnetic flux is proportional to the number of magnetic field lines. Actually we are talking about magnetic flux here. Okay, so magnetic flux is proportional to number of magnetic field lines. It is proportional to the number of magnetic field lines. Okay, it is proportional to the number of magnetic field lines crossing an area. Okay, number of magnetic field lines crossing an area, it is known as magnetic flux. It is proportional to this. Like you say, if more I'll say that see here that I am saying that this is some area. Okay, and this is some other area. Okay, I am saying that this is area A1, this is area A2. Okay, which is bigger, which is smaller, you can see here, but actually we are not comparing that. Okay, I am saying that there is some magnetic field here, some magnetic field lines is like this. Okay, these are some magnetic field lines here. Okay, it cannot intersect actually. Okay, so these are the magnetic field lines. So what can you say here, students? That flux crossing A1 and flux crossing A2, are these two equal or unequal? What can you say here? You can see here that there are one, two, three, four, five magnetic field lines are crossing through this area and this area both. So on a very a very simple note, we can say that yeah, the number of magnetic field lines crossing the area A1 and the area A2 are equal. So we can say that flux through one is equal to flux through two, right? This is a simple manipulation of this flux thing. Okay, that flux, what is flux? Actually we also say that it is the magnetic energy passing through an area, crossing an area simply. Okay, magnetic energy crossing an area is known as magnetic energy crossing an area is magnetic flux. Same as electric flux. What we say about electric flux, we can say all these things about magnetic flux too. Just we have to replace the word electric by magnetic, that's it. Okay, so these are the things about magnetic flux. Okay. Okay, okay. So you see, if actually this formula is very useful, but you know when we should you be using this formula, that the formula for magnetic flux. Okay, this formula we can use actually everywhere. Okay, we can use this formula everywhere, but what we say that we should be using this formula. This magnetic flux is equal to integration of B dot dA. Okay, this formula integration of B dot dA. This formula we can use anywhere, but where should we use this formula? We should use this formula where angle is known. Okay, where angle between magnetic field and area vector is known. Okay, most of the times we should be using this formula at these places only, where it is the angle between magnetic field and area vector is known, or you can say you see the area angle between magnetic field and area vector is known, and or it is easy to calculate. Okay, if we'll find it complex to calculate, then we cannot calculate it actually. Okay, so that is what I am saying you, where it is easy to calculate. Okay, these are the things. So like you see, if the angle between magnetic field and area vector is 90 degree, let us say the angle between magnetic field and area vector is pi by 2. If the angle between magnetic field and area vector is pi by 2, what will be the flux, students? Can you tell me what will be the value of flux here? Flux is actually equal to B dot A. Okay, so we say that the angle between B and A is pi by 2, so it will be equal to BA cos pi by 2, and we know cos pi by 2 is equal to 0, so in this case the value of flux will be 0. Okay, so for an example, let us see here for an example, like I am saying that this is some area. Okay, and in this case the magnetic field is in this direction, students. A uniform magnetic field, I am saying that this is a uniform magnetic field. Okay, this is a uniform magnetic field, and this magnetic field is crossing this area in the same way how I have made this figure. See, so this is the direction of magnetic field, and now here you can see that the what will be the direction of area vector, students? Can you tell me what will be the direction of area vector for this circle? This could be the either this, okay, or this could be the direction of area vector. In both the cases, the angle between magnetic field and area vector is 90 degree. Okay, in both the cases. So what we'll say here, that magnetic flux through this area is 0, which means there is no energy crossing this area. Okay, flux is equal to 0. Okay, are you all getting my point, students, or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we're getting a point.
Okay. Okay, Prashi, very good. And you see, there are a few things like unit of magnetic flux. Okay, so actually, unit of magnetic flux is Actually, what is it? It is Weber. We use Weber. Okay. Generally, we use Weber because you see, you have already studied about it in your in our previous classes. I have already told you that the value, not value, that the unit of magnetic field is Tesla, students. Okay. Unit of magnetic field is Tesla, and if Tesla into area, if it is like if we are saying about flux, it is B into A means Tesla into meter square. So Tesla into meter square, we say it as Weber. Okay, it is the SI unit of flux. It is Weber, and uh, Tesla is, sometimes we also use the unit of magnetic field as Weber per meter square. It is from here only. Okay. The unit of magnetic field is Weber per meter square from here. That flux upon area is equal to magnetic field, right? So flux, unit of flux is Weber and unit of area is meter square. So the unit of magnetic field will be Weber per meter square. Okay. This is the unit of magnetic field. So unit of flux is Weber. Okay. This is all about this. Okay, so now what we say, Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Okay, what is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction? Students, let's see, this is a very good thing which we are about to, which we have to talk about. See here. Okay, Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. What it says, what do you mean by Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction? What it says, that you see, here I am making an area like this. Okay. This is some area. Okay, and I am saying that I have some magnet here. Okay, I have some magnet here. Okay, I am saying that this is the north pole of the magnet and this is the south pole of the magnet. Okay, and now the magnetic field lines are like this. So let us say that this is how magnetic field lines are crossing this area. Okay, okay. So this is how magnetic field lines are crossing this area. So what is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction? That is what I am telling you. That you see, students, we are having a magnet here. Okay, and this is some coil, some area through which magnetic field is crossing. Some magnetic field lines are crossing this area. Okay, there are some magnetic field lines which is crossing the area, which means that also there is some flux linked through this area, right? Which will be equal to integration of B dot dA. Okay, we don't need to calculate it, just a simple thing which we are talking about, that flux is B dot dA. B is magnetic field, dA is area vector, dot product of these two. So some flux is crossing this area. So what Faraday said to us, that if the flux linked through this area changes, if the flux linked through this area changes, how will this flux change? If we'll move the magnet either in this direction or in this direction, in any of the direction, we can say that, like whatever be the direction, like let us say that we are moving magnet in this direction. Okay, or we could move the magnet in this direction. Okay, so what we say, that in either of the directions, whenever we move the magnet in either of the direction, the flux linked through this coil will change. Okay, this is a closed loop, students. Okay, and the flux linked through this area will change. Okay, so what Faraday like noticed, or what Faraday said to us, what this was a law by Faraday, which we say Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So what he said, that if we'll move the magnet, or if he said that if flux linked through this area changes, this area will induce an EMF. Okay, this area will induce an EMF to resist the change in flux. So this is what Faraday said. What is it? It says that Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, it says that the EMF produced in a loop. Okay, the EMF produced, or EMF induced in a loop, we should say, the EMF induced in a loop is directly proportional to the rate of change of flux. Actually, it is minus d phi by. Okay, the EMF induced in the like EMF induced in this loop, it will be proportional to minus d phi by dt. Minus d phi by dt means it is the rate of change of flux. Okay, change in flux per unit time. So what happens if there is some loop through which there is some electric flux is crossing this loop, or let us say some magnetic field is linked through this loop, some flux is linked through this area. So if this flux changes, what we said that there will be an EMF induced in the loop. Okay, and how will it? And there is one more law, students, that is Lenz law. Actually, we'll say that this Faraday's law was enough. Okay, it was single-handedly enough for the for the calculation, or for getting the direction of EMF, for induced EMF. Okay, for the direction of induced EMF, it is enough. Okay, this because it was minus d phi by dt. But we also study about one more law, which we say that which we call as Lenz law. Okay, which is Lenz law. That about that Lenz law, I'll tell you that Lenz law gives us an idea, or actually gives us the direction of EMF induced. Okay, actually Faraday's law is single-handedly enough. Okay, for the calculation of this EMF induced. Okay, the value of EMF induced and direction also. But we'll use Lenz law for the calculation of direction because that is easier. Okay, so EMF induced is equal to minus of d phi upon dt. Okay, EMF induced is equal to minus of d phi upon dt. D phi upon dt is rate of change of flux, and this minus sign represents that whatever be the change in flux, it will try to oppose it. Okay, the EMF induced will try to oppose it. Like for an example, what will I say that see this is some loop. Okay, and I am saying that here I am moving a magnet. Okay, like this. This is some magnet here. Okay, and I am moving this magnet in some direction. I am saying that this is the north pole. Okay, this is the south pole. Magnetic field lines are like this. Okay, these are the magnetic field lines crossing this area, or the flux passing through this area. Okay, this is the flux. So what we say that if I'll move this magnet in this direction, okay, towards right, what will happen? That this loop will start experiencing some change in flux. Okay, which means the flux through this area is decreasing or increasing, students. If this magnet is moving towards right, we'll say that number of lines crossing this area is increasing actually, right? The number of magnetic field lines crossing this area is increasing, and if this magnet will be moved towards left, we'll say that flux is decreasing. Okay, I am also writing this, that flux is increasing. In this case, flux is increasing. Okay, and in this case, what will happen? The flux will decrease. Okay, the flux is decreasing in this case. Okay, in this case, flux is decreasing. So if the magnet is moving towards left, or the magnet is moving towards right, okay, there is these two things are different, because in one case flux is increasing, one case flux is decreasing. So what is it saying? That the negative sign, actually I am talking about the negative sign first. Okay, then we'll talk about Lenz law. Okay, actually both are same, but right now, yeah, we should be knowing how this Faraday's law single-handedly explains the value of induced EMF, like the magnitude of EMF induced and the direction also. Okay, so the flux is increasing. So what will happen? This loop will induce an EMF, which will induce an current. Due to that current, the flux it will oppose that change. Like if you see, if in this case, like if I'll be talking about the first case, students, just see here. If I will be talking about the first case in which flux is increasing, actually, like I am saying that this is the magnet. Okay, sorry, so sorry. See here, students, I am saying that if this is the magnet, okay, and I'll be making the loop here. Okay, this is the magnet, this is the loop. Okay, this is the loop, and we are the observer. We are here. Okay, we are looking from this direction, students. Okay, so that it will be easier for us to get it. Okay, so for us, what will we say that if this is the North Pole and this is the South Pole, and I am moving a magnet in this direction, so what will we say that the flux is increasing through this? Okay, so it will induce current in such direction that it will try to oppose the change. Okay, this loop will try to oppose the change in flux. So what will happen? This flux will uh, this loop will induce a current in which direction? Clockwise or anti-clockwise? In which direction, students? Like you can say that, see here, that if we are talking about the direction, what will you say that, see here, now I am the observer. Okay, now I am the observer and I am seeing this. Okay, this is top view actually. Not top view, we are just here. We are standing here and we are seeing this loop, and we are saying that flux is increasing. Like flux, the magnetic field lines is going from is going inside actually. Okay, like this, the magnetic field lines is going inside through this loop, and inside it is increasing. So in which direction will this loop uh, like induce the current? In which direction? Can you tell me? Clockwise or anti-clockwise? First option is anti-clockwise and second option is clockwise. Can you tell me in which direction will this loop induce current? Like see, this is the North Pole. Okay, and North Pole is, you can see that North Pole is going towards this loop. Okay, North Pole is going towards this loop. So if this North Pole is going towards this loop, what does this loop want? This loop wants that this magnet should not move inside. So this magnet will repel. Sorry, this loop will repel. Will try to act as North Pole, right? So for North Pole, what we say, this is North Pole. Yes, this is North Pole. Right. Are you getting my point, students? This is the North Pole. So it will induce current in this direction, anti-clockwise direction. Okay. One more thing you can say, that curl your fingers. Okay. That this is opposing. Actually, this is opposing. So one more thing which you can say for your understanding, that this North Pole is coming towards this. Okay, towards the loop. Okay, this is the loop, and this magnet is coming towards the loop. Okay, so magnetic field crossing this area, so magnetic field crossing this area will increase. So this loop will try to decrease that decrease the number of magnetic field lines by producing a magnetic field, by producing a magnetic field in which through this loop magnetic field lines will be like this. You can say that. Okay, not like this actually. It could be like this. Just see here, student. The magnetic field lines through this loop would be like this, like this, in this direction. Can you say that? And when this could happen, if the like if you'll curl your fingers, you'll see that if you curl your fingers in this direction, in anti-clockwise direction, you will see that it will produce a magnetic field which is towards right, not right, which will be towards you, towards left actually. According to this loop, it will be towards left. Okay, it will be towards left. Okay, so this will be the direction of current induced in this, right, induced in this loop. This will be direction of current. So you can say that if this is the direction of current, so what will be the EMF induced? How will be the EMF induced? It will be like this will be the negative terminal, this will be the positive terminal, right? That is, then only current will flow like this. Okay, if the left terminal will be positive, the current will flow in opposite direction. Okay, so this is how we tell about the direction of EMF. Okay, now we'll talk about Lenz law, students. Students, are you all getting my point or not? Please tell me.
Yes, sir, we are getting.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you feel any problem, please ask me. Okay. if you'll feel any difficulty regarding what I'm teaching here, you can tell me, you can ask me. Okay. Okay. So now we should talk about Lenz law, students. What is Lenz law? What is Lenz law? It is the same thing which we have studied here. It says that the EMF induced in a loop. Okay, you can see, you'll find all the like formula. See, this is the formula, not formula actually, the theory. You will find every theory here. Okay, you'll find every theory here. I am just trying to explain what Lenz law says. It says that the EMF is induced in a loop. Like what we say that if this is a loop, okay, and if there is some flux change, okay, flux is changing. Okay. So what we say, flux is changing. So what it says, this Lenz law, what it says that it induces current in such a way that it tries to oppose the cause which is producing it. Okay, it I'll write it. Okay, that EMF is these like these definitions you will not get in any book, students. Okay, that every time you will find that in book some definitions are very difficult. Whatever we read, okay, that is that appear to us that it is very difficult. So I am giving you a very like easy or a very simple definition for Lenz law, that EMF is induced in such a way. Okay, EMF is induced in such a way that it tries to oppose, okay, that it tries to oppose the cause. Okay, it tries to oppose the cause which has produced it. Do you understand, students, this statement? This is a very good statement and very simple statement actually, that EMF induced in such a way, we are talking about induced EMF. Okay, that these things are already understood, that flux is changing through this loop. Okay, and we already know that if flux will be changing through any loop, then it will and EMF will be induced in the loop. Okay, and it is telling you about the direction, that EMF is induced in such a way. Okay, EMF induced in such a way that it tries to oppose the cause. Okay, it tries to oppose the cause which has produced it. Okay, what has like the EMF induced is trying to oppose the cause, students. What cause? The cause of inducing, the cause of inducing the EMF. Okay, the induced EMF is trying to oppose the cause which has produced it. Which cause has produced EMF? The changing flux. Okay, so this is how we say that if we are having a very like, see, not again I'm making it green every time. This time I'll make it a white. Okay, see, this is a loop, students. Okay, and what you say that I am seeing this loop, and in front of this loop you have done what? Like if I'll make this loop in this way, this is the loop. Okay, this is the loop, students, and this time this is the south pole, this is the north pole, and I am this time I am sending the actually I am moving the south pole towards the loop. Okay, okay, this is how I am doing this. So what will happen, the magnetic field lines will be like this in this case. Okay, in this case magnetic field lines will be like this. Okay, and this will be the direction of magnetic field lines. Okay, and this time we are here. Okay, so we are the observers. Okay, so we are seeing that here we are having a loop, and south pole we are moving south pole towards this loop. So the magnetic field lines crossing this area, now you will see that the number of magnetic lines crossing this area is decreasing actually, or is it increasing, students? In this case, you will say that current is, what will be the direction of current, student? Tell me, it will be clockwise, right? It will be clockwise. How? Because see, the magnetic field lines are crossing this area, okay? And if I am moving this south pole in this direction, then I'll say that magnetic fields which is coming inside this area is in like decreasing, right? Or increasing, students? Tell me, increasing or decreasing? Students, are you not getting my point? Please tell me.
So if you could repeat it again.
Actually, I'm asking you that flux passing through this area, is it increasing or is it decreasing?
So it's the same, right?
Yeah, actually I'm moving southward towards this direction. You can you see how can you evaluate this? You'll say that if I am moving this,
So
if
it's
I am
more, so
moving,
it's more.
yeah, if I am moving this magnet towards left, okay, if I am moving this magnet towards left, then like magnetic field lines actually, if I'll say these are the, if I'll, this is, these are the, let me say that these are the more magnetic field lines we are having actually. We are having more magnetic field lines here. Okay, more magnetic field lines is crossing this area. So if this is moving towards right, what will happen? The magnetic field lines is in this direction is increasing. Okay, in this direction increasing. So this loop will try to oppose this cause. Okay, this loop will try to oppose. So in which direction? In this direction, it will like form a loop. Okay, in this direction, it will the current will flow in this direction. Okay, the EMF induced will be like this. This will be the positive terminal, and this will be the negative terminal. Right? Getting me, students? This will be the positive terminal. This will be the negative terminal. Okay. So how I said this actually, this is the south pole and this south pole is moving towards this loop. Okay, this south pole is moving towards this loop. Okay, which means that this loop will try to oppose this south pole, this movement of south pole. So what will be the like direction of magnetic or direction of current? That this side of the loop will be south pole. Then south pole will be like this. Okay, we have already studied these things in our previous classes, students. So this will be the direction of current. Okay, so we wrote everything correctly. Okay, so these are the laws, students. Lenz law and Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Did you get it, students? All of you, please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a wire, students. Okay. This is an infinite wire. Okay. This is an infinite wire in both the directions. Okay. And at some distance A, actually at some distance X, okay, we are having a rectangular loop, students. Okay, see here. We are having a rectangular loop. Okay, not rectangular. Let us say that this is a square loop of side A. Okay, this is a square loop of side A. Okay, and what you have to do, we have to like, and the current actually, the current here is increasing. Okay, the current here is increasing. I is equal to, if I'll say that this current I is equal to this I. Okay, this I is equal to 5t square ampere. Okay, 5t square ampere. Okay, this is the current. Okay, this is the current 5t square ampere. This is the current which is flowing in this conductor. Okay, this infinite wire. This is the value of current 5t square. So can you tell me the EMF induced will be, what will be the value of EMF induced? Or before this problem, students, I'll give you a simple problem that, yeah, this problem, students. First do this problem. First of all, do this problem. Then I'll explain the problem which I was trying to give you. Yeah. First of all, solve this problem, students. I'm giving you 5 minutes maybe. Yeah. Solve this. Okay. So what is it saying, students? That this figure is showing you a coil. Okay. It is placed in a magnetic field, and it has also shown you the direction of magnetic field, right? So you see the direction of magnetic field actually in this loop. See, this is the direction of magnetic field. So I'll write it here that magnetic field is outside the plane of paper. Okay. And it is also saying it is also saying this problem that magnetic field is decreasing at 10 Tesla per second. Okay. It is already given you in the problem that magnetic field is decreasing at 10 Tesla per second. Okay, so what will you say here that magnetic field is outside the plane of paper and magnetic field is decreasing outside. Okay, in the outside that direction, magnetic field is decreasing. So what will it say? What will this loop try to do? This will try to increase the magnetic field in actually it will try to increase the magnetic field outside the plane of paper. So this loop will try to induce the magnetic field outside the plane of paper. So what should be the direction of current if it wants to produce a magnetic field which is outside the plane of paper? By curling our fingers and like seeing the direction of our thumb. Okay, what will we say that the current should be like this, in this direction, students? Are you getting my point? The current should be induced in this direction. Okay. And what will be the value of EMF induced, students, due to this changing flux? Due to this changing flux, what should be the value of EMF? The value of EMF will be d phi upon dt. So we can also say that it will be for if the magnetic we are knowing the value of magnetic field and we are knowing the value of area, we can simply say the magnetic field change in magnetic field per unit time, actually it will be delta phi, E is equal to delta phi upon delta t. Okay, change in flux per unit time. So it will be how much? 10 Tesla per second into 2 meter square. It will be 20 Tesla meter square per second. Okay. So Tesla meter square is Weber. Weber per second, it is d phi upon dt. Same as the unit of d phi upon dt, right? So you'll say rate of change of flux will be equal to rate of change of magnetic field into area if it is constant. Okay, if rate of change of magnetic field is constant, we can say that the value of EMF induced will be rate of change of magnetic field into area simply. Okay, so 20 will be the value of 20 volt. Actually, E will be equal to 20 volts. Okay, and we know the direction of flow of current. So we can say that the EMF will be induced in this direction, students. See here. This will be the positive terminal, this will be the negative terminal. And we already know that in this problem, we are already given that there is a EMF like this. Okay, there is already a battery which is of 30 volt. It is like this. And what will be the value of current in this direction, students? The value of I will be E over R. We know that, right? By Ohm's law, we know the value of current will be EMF upon resistance. Okay, so the induced EMF is equal to 20 volts. Though, therefore, the current will be 20 upon 2, because we know the resistance, sorry, 20 upon 5 actually, not 2. Actually, it will be 20 upon 5, students. Okay. 20 upon 5, which will be equal to how much? Tell me, 4 amperes. Okay, and due to this 30 volt, what will be the direction of current? The current will be in this direction due to 30 volt, students. Due to 30 volt, this will be the direction of current. And what will the value of this current? It will be equal to 30 upon 5. So it will be equal to 6 amperes. Okay, so the net current in this loop will be this is 6 amperes, and in this direction we are getting 4 amperes. So what will be the resultant current in this loop, students? We can say that it will be 2 ampere in this direction, right? So this is the answer for this problem. Okay, got my point, all of you? Or you didn't get my point? Please tell me. Got my point, students?
हाँ जी sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.